Welcome to Beauty in Stories. This is a space where short, meaningful tales invite us to explore life's deep lessons and the beauty of emotions. Each story becomes a journey to listen, reflect, and rediscover values that are often overlooked in the busyness of life. Join us as we uncover inspiration, joy, and connection in these stories every day. And now, let's dive into today's story, Beneath the Apple Tree. A long time ago, in a distant village, where the sky and earth danced in an eternal rhythm of time, there stood an ancient apple tree. The tree was no ordinary tree, it was the soul of the land, a silent witness to generations past. The people of the village often said that the apple tree carried the dreams and aspirations of those who had lived and would live in that place. It stood tall and firm, like a living monument, its branches reaching toward the sky, connecting with every leaf, every branch, and every ripe apple. Day after day, a young boy would come to the tree, as if it were a habit that could not be broken. Small and fresh-faced, with the innocence of youth, he would run to the tree every morning, waving his hands to greet it like an old friend. His playful fingers would reach for the apples high up in the branches, each one like a precious gem, full of life. He would savor the sweet taste of the fruit, like enjoying the sweetness of nature. And then, tired, he would rest under the tree's shade and fall into a peaceful sleep. The apple tree, with its unspoken patience, watched the boy with loving eyes, feeling the joy radiating from his small hands. A connection, a harmony between man and nature, was something the apple tree cherished, though the boy never knew. But time, like an invisible wind, passed through the boy's life. The boy, who had once been a small child, now became a young man, his eyes bright but tinged with a hint of sadness. One day, he returned to the tree, but his look no longer held the joy it once did. The apple tree, with all its hope, shyly asked,
"My dear, why do you not play with me as you once did?"
The young man, now an adult, lowered his head, his voice filled with quiet sorrow as he replied,
"I am no longer a child. The games of childhood no longer bring me joy. I want things that money can buy. But I do not have enough money."
The apple tree, with its unwavering love, smiled softly and said,
"I do not have money. But you can pick the apples from my branches and sell them. You will have money to buy what you wish."
Hearing this, the young man's face lit up with joy, and he quickly harvested all the apples to sell them. But after that, the tree saw no sign of him again. It stood there, waiting, day after day, in an endless sadness, holding on to a hope that would never die. But that hope, too, did not last long. One day, the young man returned. But this time, he was no longer the playful child he once was. He was a grown man, strong and worldly. The apple tree, with its tired branches, was overjoyed to see him. But when it eagerly asked if he wished to play, the young man rejected.
"I no longer have time to play. Dear apple tree, I need a house to live in."
The apple tree sighed but said gently,
"I do not have a house to give you. But you can cut my branches to build one."
The young man did not hesitate. He immediately chopped down all the branches and used them to build his home. The apple tree, though saddened, understood. For the true happiness of the one it loved was in his peace and success. And so, it waited. But solitude is an ever-present companion in life. Time continued to pass. And one day, the young man, now an older man, returned to the apple tree. The tree, filled with joy, wanted to ask why he had come back. But the man, with his weathered face, only said,
I no longer have the strength to play. Dear apple tree, I need a boat to sail away and find peace within myself.
The apple tree said nothing, only gently responded,
Cut down my trunk and make a boat.
So, the man chopped down the tree's trunk and sailed away. The apple tree, in its silent sorrow, smiled softly within, knowing that the man would find peace. Finally, after many years had passed, one evening, the old man returned. No longer the young man or the strong figure of the past. He was now a frail, aged man. The apple tree, looking at him with branches that no longer held the beauty of youth, sighed and said,
I have nothing left to give you. No more sweet apples. No more branches for you to climb. No more trunk for you to cut, all that remains is this stump.
The old man looked at the tree, his eyes filled with sorrow, then smiled and said,
All I need now is a place to rest.
And the old man sat down on the stump. The apple tree, though it had nothing left to give, found joy in the simple fact that it could offer peace. The tree smiled through its tears. The lesson. This story, though simple, holds profound lessons about love, sacrifice, and unconditional giving. The apple tree symbolizes the parents who love their children endlessly, giving without expecting anything in return. No matter how much time passes, no matter how far children go, parents are always ready to welcome them back, willing to do whatever it takes for their happiness. It teaches us that true love is not about receiving, but about giving. True love does not wait for reward but finds happiness in the act of selfless devotion. The story is a reminder that the love we give, especially to our children, is eternal, and that the greatest happiness is found in the giving itself, not in what we receive. Thank you for joining Beauty in Stories for today's tale. I hope these moments have brought you meaningful insights and inspiration. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any upcoming stories. See you in the next one.
Goodbye!